you think your dreams are just random noise, a chaotic replay of your day, a meaningless collage of faces and places? Think again. Your subconscious is screaming at you, and you're hitting snooze. Freud was right. Dreams are the royal road to the unconscious, a shadowy realm where your deepest fears, desires, and repressed truths claw their way to the surface. But are you listening? Or are you too busy drowning in the shallow distractions of waking life to decipher the code? Every symbol, every recurring nightmare, every inexplicable surge of emotion in your sleep is a message, an urgent dispatch from the parts of yourself you've buried alive. That dream where you're falling is not just stress. It's your psyche warning you that you're losing control, that the life you've built is a fragile illusion. That dream where your teeth crumble to dust is not random. It's a primal fear of powerlessness, of decay, of being exposed as weak. Your mind doesn't waste time on trivialities. It speaks in riddles because the truth is too brutal to face head-on. So ask yourself, what are you so afraid of that your own brain has to disguise it in symbolism? What truths are you refusing to acknowledge that your subconscious has to scream them at you in your sleep? The modern world has conditioned you to dismiss dreams as nonsense, to medicate away the discomfort they bring. But what if the discomfort is the point? What if your dreams are the only part of you still brave enough to tell you what you don't want to hear? And what about the dreams you don't remember? The ones that slip through your fingers like smoke the moment you wake. Do you think they're gone? No, they linger in your gut, in the unease you can't name, in the sudden anger or sadness that hijacks your day for no reason. Repression isn't just a psychological concept. It's a survival tactic, a way to keep functioning when the weight of your own mind would crush you. But here's the brutal truth. The more you ignore these messages, the louder they become. They morph into anxiety, into self-sabotage, into a life that feels inexplicably hollow. Freud called it the return of the repressed, the way buried truths always find a way back, often in destructive forms. Your irrational fears, your compulsive behaviors, your unexplained rage at minor inconveniences. These aren't random glitches. They're your unconscious staging a rebellion. So ask yourself, what are you so desperate to avoid that your mind has to ambush you in your sleep? Why do you cling to the illusion of control when your dreams reveal, night after night, how little you truly command? The modern obsession with productivity and positivity has turned dreams into an inconvenience, something to be brushed aside with a coffee and a deep breath. But what if they're the only thing keeping you honest? What if your dreams are the last bastion of truth in a world that rewards delusion? The choice is yours. Keep dismissing them as nonsense, or dare to dig deeper and face what you've spent a lifetime running from. Consider this. Every person who ever changed the course of history, every artist, inventor, revolutionary was first a dreamer in the most literal sense. Nietzsche's visions, Tesla's waking hallucinations, even Einstein's thought experiments were nothing but disciplined dreaming. Your subconscious isn't some dusty attic of forgotten memories. It's a war room where your deepest strategies are forged. That recurring dream where you're being chased, it's not just fear. It's your mind rehearsing evasion, teaching you how to maneuver when life corners you. That erotic dream about your boss or your ex, it's not random lust. It's a power dynamic playing out in symbols, revealing where you feel dominant or helpless in waking life. Freud's greatest insight wasn't about sex. It was about power. The latent content of your dreams exposes the raw negotiation of control that defines every human relationship. Why do you think people dream of flying in moments of triumph and drowning in periods of defeat? Your mind is mapping your territory like a general studying battlegrounds. But here's the real question. If your dreams are this brutally honest about your weaknesses, why do you keep pretending you're in charge when awake? The symbols are clear. The locked doors you can't open, the weapons that fail when you need them, the voices that scream warnings you can't understand. These aren't random. They're intelligence briefings from the deepest parts of your psyche. Ignore them, and you're walking into every battle unarmed. Decode them, and you'll find the weapons you didn't know you had. So why does the modern world dismiss this goldmine of self-knowledge as superstition? Because truth is dangerous, and your dreams are merciless truth-tellers. Every institution that profits from your complacency, every authority figure who benefits from your obedience, every cultural script that sells you cheap happiness depends on you staying asleep while awake. They want you to believe dreams are meaningless because if you ever cracked their code, you'd realize how thoroughly you've been domesticated. That dream where you're naked in public? It's not about embarrassment. It's about the vulnerability of being truly seen, stripped of the masks you wear to survive a world that rewards conformity. The nightmare where you're paralyzed as danger approaches? That's not random terror. It's the exact sensation of watching your life slip away while knowing you have the power to stop it. If only you could move. Your unconscious mocks the lies you tell yourself by day. You claim to want freedom, yet dream of cages. You pretend to crave love, yet fantasize about destruction. This isn't contradiction, it's clarity. Your dreams expose the gap between the life you've settled for and the existence you're too afraid to claim. The question isn't what your dreams mean. It's whether you have the courage to act on what they're revealing. History belongs to those who confront their shadows, not those who flee into the light. Your dreams are the rebellion your soul is staging. Will you join it, or keep betraying yourself with empty affirmations and spiritual bypassing? The war for your authentic life isn't fought in daylight. It's waged every night behind closed eyes. Time to choose sides. But let's shatter the biggest illusion of all, that interpreting your dreams is some passive exercise in navel-gazing. Wrong. This is active warfare. Every symbol decoded is a landmine defused in your psychological battleground. That dream where you're fighting a shadowy figure? That's not some abstract Jungian archetype. It's the part of yourself you've disowned rising up to demand integration. The recurring dream where you miss your flight or forget your lines. That's not anxiety. It's your subconscious sounding the alarm that you're missing your actual life's purpose while chasing someone else's definition of success. Freud's real legacy isn't in textbook interpretations. It's in the radical idea that you contain multitudes, and most of them terrify you. Your mind conjures these nightly parables precisely because your waking self refuses to acknowledge the civil war within. The monsters in your dreams? They're the exiled parts of your psyche that grew fangs in the dark. The endless staircases and labyrinthine corridors? That's your soul's way of showing you're stuck in cycles you refuse to break. You want power? Start by recognizing that your dreams aren't just showing you hidden truths, they're offering survival strategies. The ancient Greeks incubated dreams at healing temples because they understood something we've forgotten. The solutions to your greatest struggles are already inside you, waiting to be claimed. The question is no longer what your dreams mean, it's whether you'll finally heed their warnings before the metaphors become reality. Your unconscious doesn't whisper, it roars. When will you start listening? Recurring dreams aren't just mental glitches. They're your psyche's emergency alerts, blaring on loop because you've ignored them in waking life. That dream where you're back in school, unprepared for an exam? It's not about academics. It's your subconscious mocking your perpetual state of feeling not ready for the opportunities circling you. The nightmare where you're trapped in a collapsing building? That's not random catastrophe. It's a structural integrity report on your crumbling facades. Recurring motifs are your unconscious playing the same cutscene until you finally recognize the pattern. Freud called this repetition compulsion, the mind's desperate attempt to master what traumatizes it by replaying the scenario. But here's the twist. Your recurring dreams aren't just repeating trauma. They're offering you drills. That chase dream where you're always caught? Your mind is training you to confront what you flee from. The falling dream that jolts you awake? It's conditioning you to surrender control before life forces you to. The symbols don't change until you do. So ask yourself, what lesson is so critical that your subconscious keeps wasting precious REM cycles on it? What failure of awareness in your waking life demands this relentless nightly remediation? Recurring dreams are the universe's way of putting you in detention until you learn the damn lesson. Let's gut the biggest taboo. Your erotic dreams aren't about sex. They're about power transactions coded in the body's most visceral language. That dream where you sleep with your boss? It's not lust. It's your subconscious dramatizing your thirst for their authority. The fantasy about your ex returning? Not nostalgia. It's your mind working through unfinished dominance struggles. Freud was right about sexual symbolism but wrong about its purpose. It's not repression, it's reconnaissance. Every sexual dream element is a metaphor for control. Staircases as ascent to power, trains as relentless momentum, water as emotional currents you're navigating. Even the classic Freudian phallic symbols miss the point. It's not about the object, but what it represents. Penetration as invasion of boundaries, ejaculation as release of pent-up force, orgasm as momentary surrender to something greater than your ego. Your most graphic sexual dreams are actually detailed briefings on where you feel potent or powerless in waking life. So next time you wake flushed from some carnal fantasy, ask the real question. Not why them, but what does this say about the power I crave or fear? That premonition dream that later came true wasn't magic. It was your subconscious outsmarting your conscious mind. Freud dismissed prophetic dreams as coincidence, but he missed their true mechanism. Your unconscious recognizes patterns your waking self ignores, then simulates outcomes in dream space. That dream where your partner cheated? It wasn't clairvoyance. It was your gut detecting micro-betrayals your conscious mind rationalized away. The nightmare about getting fired that manifested months later? Your subconscious had already pieced together the office politics you refused to acknowledge. This is the double-edged sword of dream interpretation. The more attention you pay, the more you uncover hidden currents shaping your reality. But beware, this feedback loop can become a psychic Ouroboros if misunderstood. Start treating dreams as gospel, and you'll manifest their warnings through paranoia. The key isn't passive divination, but active course correction. Your dreams show you the cliff edge long before your waking eyes see it. Not so you can panic about the fall, but so you can steer away while there's still time. Here's the ultimate Freudian twist. You're dreaming right now. Your waking life is just a hallucination with better lighting and stricter rules. Those déjà vu moments? Glitches in your personal matrix where dream logic bleeds through. The coincidences you dismiss? Your unconscious pattern matching operating in daylight. Your irrational hatred of certain places or people. Repressed dream content masquerading as preference. We make the critical error of assuming dreams are separate from reality when they're actually the factory where reality gets assembled. Every creative breakthrough, every gut feeling, every impulsive decision is your dream self hijacking the controls. This explains why geniuses like Kekulé discovered molecular structures in dream visions. They simply stopped resisting the truth their minds had already mapped. Your resistance to this idea proves its potency. If you admitted how much your waking life is governed by dream logic, you'd have to confront how little rational control you actually possess. The grand finale of Freudian analysis isn't interpreting dreams. It's realizing you've been awake in your dreams and asleep in your life. Now, what will you do with that knowledge? This is where we strip away the last illusion. Your dreams aren't just messages. They're ultimatums. Every symbol, every recurring nightmare, every visceral emotion that jolts you awake at 3 a.m. is your subconscious issuing a final warning before it takes drastic action. Freud's greatest oversight was framing dream interpretation as an intellectual exercise when it's actually a survival mechanism. That dream where your teeth fall out? It's not just about anxiety. It's your psyche's last-ditch effort to make you confront the words you've left unspoken before they rot inside you. The paralysis dream where you scream but no sound comes out? That's not random neural misfiring. It's your authentic voice being suffocated by the persona you perform daily, and it will manifest as depression or illness if ignored. The bridge between your dream world and waking life isn't made of abstract symbolism. It's built with the raw materials of unlived potential and repressed instincts. You stand at the threshold each morning with a choice: carry the revelations forward into daylight, or betray them again for the comfort of denial. But know this: the dreams will escalate, the symbols will grow darker, the emotions more violent, because your unconscious would rather terrify you in sleep than watch you slowly die awake. This isn't mysticism, it's psychological law. The writing has been on the wall of your dreamscape for years. When will you finally read it?